Welcome back to the SCIF. I am Matt. That is Stu. We want to apologize. Last week something came up, and we hope everybody got the message, so nobody was there waiting. That's one of the things that we just never want to happen, is you guys not having word. It's such a pain in the ass, though, to be honest with you, trying to put out a video. Video on YouTube is easy. Putting out a video on Rumble is more difficult because you've got to go through these third-party networks. I mean, I really wish, Stu, there was a way that the different platforms sort of talk to one another, but I guess they don't for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of can, like using StreamYard, you can stream to multiple deals, but it's just it's
Well, you have
frustrating
to use a
trying to.
third-party application to do that,
Yeah,
StreamYard or
yeah,
Streamster or what all that other bullshit, that Streamlabs, all that bullshit we tried, remember? So,
yeah.
but we got a good show for you tonight. Once again, Stu and I have not even talked about it. We were just bullshitting about an event coming up here in October that Stu's going to have to represent everyone alone.
Yeah, I'm going solo. I'm trying to get a camera. I was telling Matt I'm trying to get a camera sorted, so if I can do that and get some video that doesn't completely and embarrass myself, I may try and put something quick together just to show if it isn't completely buddy, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll go well.
As it starts to get a little colder up here in Wisconsin, it's raining right now in drizzle. What's it like down there, Stu?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's low 50s in the morning up to mid 80s in the afternoon. Just
oh boy,
beautiful weather. We've got our 2 weeks of fall here, so we're going to enjoy every bit of it.
There you go. So what do we got? What do we got tonight to talk about?
Well, you sent me a couple of stories, and they kind of run in together. We've got, as everyone knows, this government shutdown that's entering its second week here, and there's some failures going around. There's with the Senate to pass things.
Well, you can see this is all intentional. What they were going to try to do was get it to a point where soldiers weren't getting paid. They're trying to use the shutdown to turn people against Trump, and Trump is ahead of them every step of the way. And they're going to try to force the hand of us paying for illegals, their medical care and everything else, and massive budgets that never end till we collapse. That's their goal, Cloward and Piven, 100%.
We've got a story on some of the illegal health care and all that in Oregon that's interesting. We'll look at that, but with the shutdown, they've got where Kristi Noem, who's head of Homeland Security, sent out a video for the airports, but some of these airports in the liberal enclaves are refusing to.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Guess which states that they aren't showing them? They're saying it's a political message. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean,
what's their shutdown?
But it's also their
shutdown? A political stunt. That's what their shutdown is.
She's trying to politicize it, is what they're saying. It's like, she's trying to politicize. So she's, by saying that the Democrats are not passing funding, she's politicizing it. So the truth is political. Well, I guess it is, because Republicans are ones that deal in truth. So maybe they have a point now that I think about it.
They tried to do a referendum where the military would have been paid, and the Democrats, I think, up to 9 times voted against doing that. And as soon as Trump finds an end run around them, they're jumping up and down saying that's not constitutional and this. And I mean, look at these clowns. These clowns. Yeah. You talk about stepping on rakes. That's all they do. At the end of the day, I think the American people have woken up. And not only in America, they're starting to wake up overseas. All the bullshit that's going on over in London right now, or in England, right? With Keir Starmer, right?
Yeah.
And you're starting to see some of the stuff in the Netherlands. That guy Yeert. Oh, my brain. But anyways, he's
Your
hardcore.
Netherlandese isn't up to snuff.
Yeah, well, Geert Linders is his name, I think. So somebody's going to correct me, but
I don't think so.
he's starting the process of getting rid of the illegals in their country,
Oh
and
wow.
they have a multi-pronged that almost looks identical to what Trump has been doing. So Trump is leading the way as usual, and
Yeah.
hopefully this shutdown is going to go our way, not the Dems' way, and we're going to get some real savings out of all of this, and we're
Well,
not going to be paying for illegals.
the thing that's so frustrating, Matt, is like you said, whenever the Democrat or the Republicans try and pass to fund the military or whatever, and the Democrats are trying to obstruct it, or it's they have their true believers that it doesn't matter what reality is. They're going to believe the party line regardless. They're just
Yep.
completely brainwashed and captured that Trump is the orange Hitler and whatever. It's funny. And I've told you I've taken
The orange
doom
Hitler
scroll.
who just brought the Middle East
Yeah,
together. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's what he is, right? Yeah. Okay.
But and I've told you I'll doom scroll Reddit. For there's like
Oh,
four or
I
five that
I have
I'd
no
like to
idea
go
why
to,
you
but
do that. I have
well,
no
there's
idea
like
why
four
you
or
do that.
five communities I like, and then the main page is just everything. But it's funny because I can almost bet myself whenever I look, it doesn't matter what the topic is.
Mm-hmm.
By the fifth or sixth comment, it'll be something disparaging Republicans, Trump, or the administration.
Yeah.
It's funny, honestly. It really is, and you get to the point. It's like, are those bots or are those real people? And then you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Either way, it's
No.
an NPC that's just,
No.
parroting what they've been told to
What's the
parrot.
difference? You know
Yeah,
what? Every once in a while you come up with these T-shirt ideas. Is
I
it a
do.
bot? Is it a bot? Or is it one of these radical liberals? Either way, it doesn't matter. They're both NPCs. If you
Yeah,
could shorten that a little bit and get it on a T-shirt with, those meme pictures of the NPCs, that would
yeah.
be fantastic.
That's like, what was it? The tiger doing tiger shit or something. I
Yeah,
forget what that one was.
lions doing
Lions.
lion shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
antelopes. Yeah.
something. Now, every now and then. Now I can't
I
remember
don't
them
think
the
tigers
next
live
day.
anywhere where antelopes live, to be honest with you. So it was lion shit.
Yeah, that might have
Yeah.
been it.
Yeah.
But so we've got the shutdown that we're going to be talking about. Um, there's a couple of stories we're going to bring up. Well, you remember Loudoun County, Virginia, don't you, Matt?
Yes, yes,
With
yes,
the
yes.
school system
Yep.
and the
Yep.
the okay, we've
Yep.
got some we've got a different story with that we're going to be talking about, and just apparently Loudoun County is loud and proud, brave and beautiful, and
Well,
they're
now with the microscope on Virginia, with what's come out during this election cycle here, with this former CIA clown Spanberger, and this Secretary of State candidate who's wishing his Republican political opponents' families
yeah,
dead. Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and the funny thing is, Matt, one of the things I was listening to today, they were talking about that. He came out wishing the children of his political opponents for them to be expiring in their parents' arms, and was how he wished he could, deposit rounds in the back of heads and whatever. He lost 3 points in the polls.
Yeah, that's unreal. I mean, it's just
That's how little the Democrats care about to them. Their violence is justified, and it was like we talked about earlier. Whenever you have a group that believes, they believe that anything that contradicts or does not support their view is violent. So if you have a different opinion, that's violence. If you just don't agree with them, remember, silence is violence. You remember that
yeah.
slogan?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
They take it to heart. And in their minds, by you speaking against them, or not speaking up for them, and that's violence, well, they're
Stu, I don't think those polls are anywhere near legitimate. There's no way. There's no way it can.
you know,
And we've talked about these polls too. The Democrats are so desperate. They're the governor's race in New Jersey is a dead heat. It's a
yeah,
dead heat. And
that's amazing.
this one is within the margin of error. Now Winsome Sears is not my favorite individual because she was an anti-Trumper. She was like a
Hmm.
rising star, then she became an anti-Trumper, and now she's Virginia's only hope. So you better get out there and support Winsome Sears. But but it's one of these things. I think Virginia is where a lot of these government employees are, and they flipped a solid red state with government employees, right, and illegal immigrants. That's what they did. So I know Virginians have been pushing back, and hopefully that will continue through this next cycle here, because you don't want that Spanberger as your governor. She is a disaster from the word go. No.
Yeah. Um, Hold on a second. I was typing to someone. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's things are getting a little too weird.
Did,
Um,
did somebody put a comment up there that threw you for a loop there, or what?
yeah, no, Freedom had just posted up that I don't believe polls, they're manipulated. And
Exactly.
I said, yeah, but I do believe that Democrats would support this guy no matter what, just because he has a D after his name. Um,
Yeah,
and I think
but
that's what
but
they just don't care. It's,
I don't think there's as many Democrats as we've been led to believe, though. To be honest with you,
oh,
I
I
don't.
don't think so either. And like we've
Yeah.
said before, I really think the USAID shutdown has exposed the man behind the curtain a
Hmm.
little bit.
Absolutely.
But I've got a
Absolutely.
story here where we're talking about illegals and healthcare. Talking about the difference in spending on what Oregon is going to spend on illegals healthcare and what they're going to spend on state police. We're going to
Hmm.
look at those numbers.
Didn't you spend some time in Oregon?
Not as much as you spend on
I
Oregon.
I thought there was a town called Mail that you spent a lot of time.
No, sir, not
You knew
me.
this was coming. You knew
I
it was
did.
coming.
I
Yeah,
did. I've
I
met you before.
telegraphed. I telegraphed that one.
You did. I saw it coming from across the street. But yeah, so we've got some stories here with illegals, Hegseth and the media. But Matt's favorite person, Pritzker, is suggesting Democrats may try to prosecute ICE agents and DHS officials for arresting
Yes.
illegal aliens.
Yeah, they're going to try to do that. This is they know the Democrats and the deep state know if they don't win the midterms, and if they don't win 2028, it is curtains for them. It is curtains
Yep.
for them, because we will have made serious progress of getting a vast amount of illegals out of this country. Things are going to be put back in place that severely diminish the administrative deep state, and they know it's over. It is over. All of the funny elections and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
Are going to be much more difficult for them to make funny, right? So, anyways, where do you want to start? I saw this.
Well,
It's funny you mentioned Pritzker. Remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Remember watching that when you were a little kid,
yeah.
right? And the one kid who's like the glutton, and he
Oh, it turns into the big blueberry or something.
yeah. I saw an AI thing but it was Pritzker, and it was so funny. It was so fun. This AI is getting out of control. Holy
It it
smokes!
is. It
Yeah,
is getting crazy.
so
But
they're
well,
doing
if
the
you want
Oompa
to,
Oompa song.
well, we'll do that. We'll start with him. And
Okay.
so here's the story from Breitbart. Illinois Governor Pritzker suggests Democrats may try to prosecute ICE agents and DHS officials. And here's what he says. And You talk about, oh, Trump's weaponizing for his political enemies. Here's what he's saying. These people should recognize that maybe they're not going to get prosecuted today, although we're looking at doing that, but they may get prosecuted after the Trump administration because the statute of limitations will not have run out. So basically what he's saying is we might not be able to prosecute them now because there's a Republican in charge, but if a Democrat were to be elected, they're fair game.
So he's
And
going to
Tom Homan,
prosecute. He's threatening to prosecute law enforcement agents who are sworn to uphold the Constitution and to follow the law and to enforce the law. So these people let millions and millions of illegals unvetted into this country and try to give them everything and have manipulated every lever of our democracy in their favor using these illegals, right? And now law enforcement, for doing their job, he's threatening that if you continue to do your job, we're going to come after you. That's what he's threatening. That right there has to be a crime somewhere in that statement alone, to be honest with you.
Again, right here, he's saying, and again, just take this again. Federal law supersedes state law. That's the way it is. But here's what he's in talks with Illinois Attorney General and other attorneys regarding potential criminal investigations into DHS officials and ICE agents. So, what is the? And again, they will come up with something. I'm not saying they won't be able to, make something appear, but it's like, so you're going to take and prosecute a federal official for enforcing federal law. How?
Well,
using by what method? And again,
Stu, on top of this, just last week, it comes out that him and Brandon Johnson told the police to stand down when federal agents were in trouble and being attacked by radicals with guns and vehicles, trying to box them in, run them off the road, and shoot them. Right?
Yep. Told them do not respond to this area.
Yes. So okay, we need to start going after him. There's no way that's legal what he did right there. So now the Chicago PD and the state police have turned on the mayor, Brandon Johnson, and him, and they're not doing this anymore. And they're losing control of their state. This guy right here, with some of the stuff he's already brought up, believe me, I'm not a lawyer, and neither is Stu, but there's no way this stuff right here, using intimidation as a governor to go after law enforcement for doing their job, threatening them future reprisals for doing their job to protect this country, and to have law enforcement stand down when Americans were in trouble and being attacked.
What I wish, down here at the end of the story, Tom Homan, it says, whether it's Pritzker, Newsom, Bass, or Brandon Johnson, you're welcome for us making your community safer. If you want to sit on the sidelines and watch us make your community safer, have at it. Shame on you. As of October 1st, ICE agents have arrested more than 800 illegal aliens across Illinois. Now, I wish we had something.
They're not sitting on the sidelines, Stu. That's a problem with Homan's statement. They're actively impeding and assisting the criminals. They are actively doing it.
Oh, wow. I was just saying, I wish they had a list and there was a hyperlink in there and I clicked on it. These are some of the 800 people they've arrested, and we've got this. This guy right here, statutory rape, fraud, felon, or aggravated felony, sexual assault, criminal sexual assault, criminal from Poland, DUI, and strong arm aggravated robbery, 2 counts of DUI and possession of meth, burglary and expired visa, aggravated assault with a weapon, DUI, theft of a vehicle and illegal entry, previously removed 3 times, weapon offense, crimes against a person, concealing homicidal death. And the list just goes. These are the people they're arresting out of Illinois. And that's what this this guy has the problem with. These are the people they're arresting, and these are who he wants to protect.
It's not even he has facilitated these criminals being brought into the country, and then he has empowered them to victimize citizens of this country. That's what they've done.
Yes. And
So
he is choosing he's choosing to prioritize them over his own citizens.
of course, they did that once they allowed him in the country.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
But
this is amazing. I have a feeling. I have a feeling something big is going to happen here as far as arrests that are going to happen coming down the line. You can't go out there and actively assist criminals in victimizing law enforcement for doing their job, and then threatening law enforcement that you're going to come after them and use the judicial system to come after them once the current administration is no longer in power. That's, you talk about fascism. There you go.
yeah. But in keeping with the theme, bouncing off of that one, out of California with Gavin Newsom, another one of our stellar examples of.
Is his name Newsom or Newscomb?
I think it's the first one, but the second one fits.
Okay.
So, criminal illegal alien kills 6 after California police ignored detainer request. California authorities ignore an ICE detainer, and now 6 people are dead after an illegal alien drove a van into a tree, killing 6 passengers and injuring another one. This guy's been removed from the United States 7 times and maintains an extensive criminal history, noting that the illegal alien has a history including possession of cocaine, 3 DUIs, driving without a license, violating a court-ordered restraining order for domestic abuse. This is a guy that Gavin Newsom ordered the police to ignore the ICE detainer because he would rather him be on the streets. Possession of cocaine, DUIs, restraining order, domestic abuse. This is what they want. This is who they choose to support instead of, again, their own American citizens and constituents. This is who they prioritize.
They're all criminals as far as I'm concerned. That's my opinion. Oh.
It really is. And you wonder at some point how there is no accountability. You have these judges that are releasing people. We'll look at one of those in a minute. And it's just like, why are they allowed to do this? Why is there no accountability for their blatant just inability to do their job? If you're an engineer and you screw up and a bridge falls down, you don't get qualified immunity because you thought you were doing the right thing. It was wrong. People died. There's an issue here. But, these judges and these governors, they make these laws, and people die because of it. Yeah. And they're like, cost of doing business. Yeah. And that's how they see it.
Well,
but it's disgusting.
We have any comments we need to get to?
Well, Freedom posted one, but I'm not even pulling it up. I'm not even going to go look for it. He says, clips from the naked bike ride protest in Portland this week were hysterical. I'm just going to take his word for it. I'm not.
Naked protest bike. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear that they're getting, I think this is happening in Portland, and it's in the Pacific Northwest, where big shipments are coming in and being stored in warehouses of riot gear and stuff like that for Antifa? It's been caught on tape. Did you see all of this going down?
No, I didn't. I don't doubt it.
Yep. Andy No has been covering it, and among other people, and they've got pictures and everything else, them unloading the trucks and storage units and the whole 9 yards. They're getting ready.
That's the thing, man. In January 6th, they could track grandma by the shape of her earlobe back to bumfuck Alaska and kick her door in and drag her to fucking prison.
Yeah.
But we can't find out who's stockpiling warehouses full of material and gas masks and pulling up in U-Haul vans and dumping out respirators for people. This can't be found out. It's just can't figure out how to find it. It boggles my mind. I don't get that.
I mean, they should know where it is and then put somebody on that. And then when whoever comes to pick it up, you snap them up plus all the gear, and then you trace it back to wherever this came from.
Well, again, all right, there's the warehouse. Who's renting it?
Yep.
Who owns it? Who's renting it?
There's going to be a ton of intermediaries in there.
Oh, yeah. But again, why are we paying the FBI if they can't figure out a shell company? I mean, that's what they do. They're top men, Matt. Remember, top men.
Don't be sexist.
Top persons.
Yes.
Peoples.
Yeah.
But
Federal Bureau of Investigation, they them.
Now, I guess in maintaining and continuing the story I was talking about, where Oregon is winding up spending more money on illegals' health care than they are the state police.
Yeah,
and
great?
Granted, it can be a bit of a leading headline because the state police budget is what it is. It doesn't do any good to double it or whatever. But the point stands is.
Oh, I mean, that point stands. Whatever you could double the size of the state police. Instead, they want to pay for health care for illegals, the people that shouldn't be here anyways.
Aren't these the same people that talk about how the police need more training, how the police aren't trained enough? Yeah. And okay, well, why are you spending $700 million more? Not that they're spending $700 million on illegals' health care. They're spending $700 million more on the illegals' health care than they are on the police.
Yeah,
get down here, they're going to spend, $1.5 billion on a program that offers health benefits to illegal aliens between 2025 and 2027. And here's how they do it.
Isn't that great? 1 or 2 counties in Oregon decide this for the rest of the state.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
And here's how they do it, Matt, because I was wondering, and they put it in here. They basically have a quote unquote loophole, which I'm sure has been known and understood and left in place specifically for this purpose. So Medicaid bars illegal aliens from being beneficiaries. So what they do, they have these.
That's part. Now I'm glad you said that, because that's part of what the shutdown is about. Because they don't want to distinguish now whether you're a citizen or not in order to get Medicaid. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what some of these blue states have done is basically what they'll do is they'll issue taxes on Medicaid insurers and providers.
Mm-hmm.
They'll obtain a bundle of federal matching dollars for those funds. So they tax these providers, and then the federal government says, okay, whatever you tax them, we'll match that. So then they take those matching dollars and then turn that money over to these groups that provide health care for these illegal aliens. So it's basically, it's a way around the rule of the rule and the spirit of the law to do what they want to do, to actually apply federal dollars to illegal aliens.
Yeah. It's a scam, and it all makes sense when you understand that this is all being done.
It's basically, you can think of it the same way as Planned Parenthood, who receives all the federal dollars and saying, oh, but we don't use that money for abortions. And we talked about this before, and it's like, okay, if it costs you $1,000 to maintain your household and you get 500 of that from the government, but you're like, oh, I don't buy my weed with that $500 the government gives me. I use my $500 for that. So, well, yeah, but using that government's money to pay for something else, so you have the money to
Correct.
go
You
buy
have
the
the now
weed. It's just
disposable income. Yep.
right. Yeah, it's just it's idiocy on the face of it.
Hmm.
But that's exactly what they're doing. Oh well, we're not using we're not using Medicaid dollars to pay for. There's no illegals on Medicaid. We just tax the Medicaid providers, get matching funding from the government, and then give that money to the illegals for health care. It's just
Hmm.
it's all federal dollars and it's all bullshit. But we know that because that's you know how they operate.
They're operators.
What's that?
They're operators.
They're operators. Yeah. So did you want to talk specifically about the shutdown
Yeah. I
and
mean,
what in the Senate?
yeah, I just basically on this, I just wanted to highlight the fact that the Democrats are using this as a stunt. And it came out that they were trying to coordinate this with this No Kings protest that's coming up here
Yeah.
in a few days, right?
Yep.
And they what they were really doing with this was to try to cause pain in the military and federal agencies. They were hoping that ICE workers wouldn't get their money, and then they would just say to hell with this and stop deporting illegals. Like, I'm not working, you're not paying me, right? And then they
Right.
wanted a mass destruction. And you started seeing YouTube videos talking about this, about the military getting all concerned, they're not going to get paid and pushing back. You can start to see it coming. And Trump
Well,
does an end around this. And now the Democrats are just so, they were so concerned about them. The military just pass our budget that's going to bankrupt this country even more, and fund health care for illegals, and put gate stops that keep us from getting illegals out of this country up, and then the military can get paid again, and then everything will be fine, right? Well,
well,
this is going to bite the Democrats in the ass, is what it's going to do, because it's been highlighted. And what they don't realize is the American people, the vast majority of American people, not their idiots that you were talking about earlier, the skulls full of mush. The vast majority of American people see exactly what they're doing and what's going on, and they're going to pay a huge price for this, hopefully.
well. Let me ask you something, Matt. Did you see the supposed videos and pictures of military members in line at food banks?
Yes. Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Now, let me ask you something. When did the government shut down?
The last time?
No, no, this time. What date did they
Oh,
shut down?
what date?
Was
Roughly
it? It was on like the
2 weeks
seventh,
ago.
6th or 7th, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. When does
Week
when
and a
does the
half ago.
military get paid?
Um, on the 15th.
1st and 15th,
Yeah,
right?
yep,
So why are military members in line at the food bank on what would have
exactly,
been the fourth
exactly.
or the fifth, or I'm sorry, the 8th or the ninth or 10th?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well,
What?
it's more bullshit propaganda. Like
Yeah,
last week when they
it,
said Trump's ICE officials were handcuffing little kids, and they used a picture of a cop playing with his son, cops
yeah,
and robbers, and they used
yeah.
that, saying that the Trump officials were handcuffing little kids. It was all bullshit, but this
And
is
it's
more of the
because,
bullshit propaganda that they put out.
and again, the thing is because they don't care. They know
No.
that it's a lie, but it will get clicks. If somebody will see
Hmm.
it and they will believe, they don't care if half of a
Well, the
percent.
idiots, the idiots that vote for them will buy it, and that's who that's really for. The idiots that
Yeah,
vote for them, that they continue to lie to. That
because if
yeah.
fractions of a percent of the people that see that believe it,
Hmm.
that's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that believe
Well,
that.
ask
They're
if you
handcuffing
ask
toddlers.
if you ask the average Joe Schmo who the people were that Kyle Rittenhouse shot, they're going to tell you they were black people.
Yes,
That's what
there's
they're
still
going to
people
tell
that
you,
believe that. Yep.
because that's what the media pushed out there. Just for everybody's FYI, there were no black people involved in any
No,
of
no
this.
black people were harmed during the
Yeah.
Rittenhouse shootings.
Yeah. Only pedophiles and something else.
Yeah,
Criminals.
pedophiles and what was the one that was chasing him with the chain was the pedophile, which
Yeah.
was the
And
one that got his bicep blown off. That was
well,
had
didn't
the
he?
Glock.
Isn't he the one who pulled out the Glock? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, had the Glock in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all propaganda, and they continue to lie. They continue to. Who they're losing is the people that were on the fence in the middle, that kind of weren't paying attention, but now are. Right. That's who they're losing because they're seeing how dishonest and how fake the deep state, the Democrats, and their propagandists in the media actually are. They can
yeah,
see it every day. So they're not worried about veterans running out of money, right? They
no,
want them to run out of money. They're orchestrating it for them to run out of
yeah,
money.
that's
And then
exactly right. They're
and
not
then they
worried
go and
about
vote
it; they
against.
want it.
They vote against anything to make sure that they get their funding on the 15th while all of this mess continues to go. And they vote against that. And then when Trump finds an end around, they go on all of these CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, all of the left wing shows, and they bitch about how they bring on legal experts and talk about how it's not constitutional, that Trump is finding a way to make sure that military families don't go without their pay. Right.
Well,
So,
here's the thing, Matt. You're talking about how they're they they're not trying to prevent it; they want it so they can use it as a political tool.
mhm,
And you had sent me this story. Christy Nome, who's the head of DHS, sent out a
mhm,
video message to all the airports to play during their announcements and whatever the TSA does.
mhm.
And in the message, she says it's TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay. Some of these, and again, the usual suspects: Portland, Hillsborough, Troutsdale, they're
Is
refusing
it?
to
Wait,
play
wait a
it
second. Is
because
it Hillsborough? Is Hillsborough County one of those?
Hillsborough Airport, yep,
Really?
yep.
I'm kind of surprised at that one. I know Tacoma, Washington, Tacoma, was one of them. Yeah, they're all in liberal areas, and Hillsborough is up there in Tampa, St. Pete, which
And
is
basically they're saying
yeah.
we refuse to play it because it's political messaging.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, so the Democrats are fine in forcing people to go without pay for their political message, but
Hmm.
pointing that out as political grandstanding and politicization of the issue. It
Yeah.
just you can't make it make sense because there's no logic that flows with it.
No. No. Absolutely not.
It
No.
just doesn't. Yeah, the airports include the Vegas Harry Reid International, Portland
Yeah.
International,
Or
Seattle Tacoma.
Dingy Harry, as Rush Limbaugh used to call him. He's
Yeah,
another guy who joined. He somehow was elected, I believe, Congress first and then Senate, and he was pretty much broke, right? And he ends up leaving multi millionaire. Okay, there were all sorts of real estate deals and everything else. Public servant his whole life, and leaves as a multi
oh
millionaire.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
So Dingy Harry. So.
Nothing to see here. Move along, folks.
Yeah, exactly. He was the one. He's passed away now, but he was the one that didn't want people to be able to come through, in the amounts they were to see Congress in action because he didn't like the smell that they brought with them. He actually said something along those lines.
I don't doubt it.
Uh, the
I
the
don't doubt it one
the
bit.
elites are really something special, folks. No.
Well, I mean, you just can't understand because they're just that much better than
Yeah, but
you are.
they care about the little guy. They
Yeah,
care
yeah,
about
absolutely.
all the minorities. They care about all the gays. They care about if you think that they care about you at your own peril. Because believe
Yes.
me, when they get their way, because it's a means to an end for them, when they get their way, believe me,
And again,
believe
that's
me.
not strictly Democrats. That's probably about 80, 85% of Republicans as well. They're not there for
Yeah,
you. They're there for
yeah,
them. You just
correct.
happen to be, you know,
Yeah,
ancillary. If you don't get stepped on, count yourself lucky.
yeah. So, all right, what's the next story we got?
Well, Freedom says Trump announced today that a donor has offered to pay military salaries if necessary.
A donor.
Not sure how that would work, but that would be take a little bit of the wind out of the Democrat sails.
Really? So they would loan the government money until, well, there's only a few people that can do that. So use your noggin on who that might be,
Yeah,
right?
there's only a few people that could do it, and only one that would. So I'm
Exactly.
not sure who Elon
There's
they're
only a
talking
few who
about, but
could, and only one that would. That's there. I think there's more than one, but yeah. But I guess you can kind of come to the same conclusion that Stu and I just came with.
now we all know that Trump has done the seemingly impossible and has at least gotten a peace deal brokered in the Middle East. And I think within the past day or so, they did the hostage exchange, and
Yeah,
the 20 remaining hostages from um, October 7th were
the twenty
returned.
the 20 remaining living and the bodies are the ones that weren't living.
Yeah.
And
Now,
allegedly, I heard this today that Hamas has already executed all of those that worked with the Israelis.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Now, what you may have heard is that this was a Trump administration victory and effort, but you would be mistaken.
Oh, really? Okay. I
Yes,
can't wait. I can't wait to see why we're mistaken. Oh, it
because
was
Joe Biden did
yes.
it.
Yes, this was Blinken was out there saying this bullshit.
Yeah.
Anthony
Former
Blinken, the most
Secretary of State,
ineffective. Yeah.
yep, Antony Blinken previously claimed that the Trump brokered ceasefire builds on a post conflict framework developed under the Biden administration.
Hey,
So,
you guys know who Anthony Blinken is, right? He was that guy during the Biden administration that always looked like he was lost and he was
yeah.
being cucked by the Chinese everywhere he went, right?
Oh,
He was
what,
that
was that the
he
one
was
whenever they went to Alaska and the
yeah,
Chinese basically said, you don't have any leverage?
yeah, sit in the corner and put a dunce cap on and stare at the
Yeah.
corner. That's basically what they did with him. And he said,
So,
"Okay, okay."
whoever runs Biden's Twitter came out and said, the road to this deal was not easy. My administration worked relentlessly to bring hostages home, get
How
relief to
pathetic.
Palestinian civilians, and end the war.
How pathetic.
Biden goes on to acknowledge Trump, but in the most obligatory fashion and in a strangely grudging way. I commend President Trump and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line. So, for whatever you guys have seen about how Trump has done this, I just want you to know there's
Trump
more
and
to
his
the story.
administration. Yeah, Trump and
Yeah,
his administration. Because
yeah,
yeah, Howard Lutnick, another real estate developer, was very instrumental in all of this. You know, people that know how to work in the real world. You know,
yeah.
Marco Rubio was instrumental. Even Jared Kushner. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Kushner, but um, this is literally one of the biggest events that is a positive event that could have possibly happened within the Middle East. Getting the whole Middle East to work together, with the exception of Iran, is something that we would never even thought would even be discussed in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Yet it's happening under Trump, and they're not going to give him credit for it, no matter what. They
Oh
will
no,
not. Yeah,
no. Well, and again, this isn't the first time he's done this. Remember the Abraham Accords?
yeah, and this is all in conjunction with the Abraham Accords.
Yeah.
That's what this. Yeah, so yeah, so yeah, you can say whatever you want. Uh, the American people know, and that's what matters. So you can let Anthony Blinken, who's still clueless, and Joe Biden, who never had a clue to begin with, say what they want, and anybody that was in their feckless, destructive administration who's left all this damage that needs to be cleaned up now that the Democrats are impeding, right? You take whatever they say and say message disregard, because that's really what it is.
Well, my question is here, Blinken talks about the Trump brokered ceasefire builds on a post-conflict framework developed under the Biden administration. So why were they building a post-conflict framework when they had done absolutely nothing and had no influence on anyone in bringing the conflict? They were putting the cart before the horse, so to speak.
The post-conflict, that's more of that Washington speak, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
We were working on a post-conflict framework. Shut the fuck up.
Well, why don't you work on the conflict is currently ongoing framework? How do we stop it plan?
Exactly. So, whatever. It's more comedy than anything else. If the stakes
weren't so high, Matt, yes, it would be a comedy, because how high the stakes are. It's a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
It just is.
I hear you.
It just is. Let's see. We've got two more stories here we're talking about. And you guys all know Loudoun County, Virginia. They've got not the best reputation for protecting students that don't fit a certain demographic or have a certain alphabet montage at the end of their description. Mm-hmm. In this last deal in Loudoun County, a judge ordered LCPS to halt the suspension of boys who complained about a trans-identifying girl filming them in their locker room. Initially, 3 boys were slapped with suspensions. One of the boys was a Muslim, the 2 Christians. The punishment was later dropped against the Muslim boy, while the 2 Christians faced a 10-day suspension for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination.
Because they were being recorded by a trans individual in their locker room.
Yes, the girl who filmed the boys in the locker room without their consent didn't face such consequences, and LCPS refused to investigate the boys' claims of sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination against them.
This sounds like a massive lawsuit against this school district.
Well, here you go. It gets better. Parents of the 2 boys in question are trying to sue LCPS, and a judge has ordered them to post. The family that is suing the school has been ordered to post a $125,000 bond by Wednesday in order for the lawsuit to continue.
Oh, they need to start a GoFundMe, because I'll donate to that right now. That judge needs to be investigated. The judge needs to be investigated. Do they have the GoFundMe on there that we can put out?
I'll look and see while we talk real quick.
Yeah, we'll post it up in the comments.
Yeah, I thought they had. Actually, they do. A Give, Send, Go, Loudoun. I'll post it in the comments.
Perfect.
Oh, that's not it. What the hell is that?
And send that to me separately too, Stu.
Yep. Let me see. Let me
copy. I encourage anybody out there, send them a few bucks, because and then that you got to play by these rules now to keep this thing going, and then that judge needs to be investigated.
Yeah. So this judge basically said, if you want to sue the school for now, for these kids to sue the school, they have to post 125,000. And this my thing is, if the playing field were level, it would be different.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. This is your complaint. This is your complaint. Let's investigate and see what happens. But they're like, Okay, here's your complaint. Well, you win, they're suspended. Oh, you have a complaint? Don't care. Shut up.
Yeah,
And that's what
exactly.
the school said. The school refused to investigate the complaint of the boys
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
about
they're
this
gonna win
person filming
they're
them in
gonna
the
win
locker
this
room.
lawsuit. They're gonna win this lawsuit. You just got to get through some of the bullshit first. So if we can help them in any way we can. Get
Yeah.
past these bullshit hurdles that are made to stop them. Uh, that'd be fantastic.
Yep, because that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Hmm.
Let me see. I was going to see if there was any more information. Let's see. Wolf and Smith, who are the parents of the boys, said their son simply questioned why a female student was in the boys' locker room. After a months-long investigation, LCPS Title IX office decided that the two boys are responsible for sexually harassing and discriminating against a female student who identifies as male, which comes with a 10-day suspension. The
Yeah.
female student recorded boys in their locker room.
And the,
And
and nothing happened to the Muslim kid who was originally in trouble for this too.
no,
Yeah.
originally it was, and then the suspension was dropped. And
Yeah.
even that is like, what, it's almost one of those, well, I don't want to read into it, but I can't help but read into it kind of things.
Oh no, that you want to read into it, and you whatever you're assuming is most likely correct. So
You're not wrong.
yeah.
You're not
So
wrong. Now,
interesting story. Interesting
the
story.
individual that's running for lieutenant governor of Virginia has weighed in. He says the school board is so reckless it allows biological girls into the boys' locker room. The board then harasses the plane and tries to ruin their record and lives. Then, when it
Mhm.
gets to court, the judge wants the parents to put up huge amounts of money just to seek justice.
Yeah.
And he's running for lieutenant governor.
Well,
So
yeah. We need to get this sorted out. Uh, we need to win Virginia. By the way, we need to win
yes,
it. So whatever issues I have with Winsome Sears, we need to support Winsome Sears, and we need to win for. Can you imagine if we won New Jersey? Can you imagine?
that would be that would be wild.
That would be crazy. So, man, there's some things out there that can happen. So we need to keep them going. Could you imagine how dejected the Democrats would be if they lose Virginia and New Jersey? Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it would
that'd be
be
fantastic.
the wailing and gnashing of teeth.
And when is Fetterman going to become? You know he's going to become a Republican. You know he is. The Democrat Party's attacking him on a regular basis. You know he
Or
seems to be
I
the
know
only.
he's always come in. I was actually surprised with some of the takes he's come out with of how
Yeah,
based some of them are.
yeah. So I think that's just a matter of time. We'll see. We'll see where it
Yeah.
goes. What's the last story we got, Stu?
All right. The last story here is a good one. It's a it's a ride. So this guy here, this man, he shot the man who raped his teenage daughter, and now he's facing a murder charge. Now,
Oh
this
boy.
story here, was she 13 or 14? 13-year-old daughter was being groomed by a man, a 67-year-old Michael Fosler, who was a former Indiana police chief.
Oh
In
wow.
in July, the parents found out that Fosler had allegedly raped their daughter multiple times. Authorities arrested this guy in September. He faced 43 felonies, including rape, grooming, sexual assault, sexual indecency with a child, internet stalking, and possession of child porn. Okay. Judge Barbara Eleanor released Fosler on a $50,000 bond. Now, let me ask you, Matt, you know more about this than I do. If there's a $50,000 bond, how much do they actually have to put up? Is it
10%.
10%?
10%. Yeah.
So what's 10% of $50,000?
$5,000.
So this guy who faced 43 felonies had to put up $5,000 to walk the streets.
What state is this?
This is in Arkansas.
Okay. And was this guy a police chief in Arkansas?
He was an former Indiana police chief.
And,
Little 67, so probably retired. Former Indiana police chief. So he had to put up $5,000 despite facing 43 felonies, including all of these acts with a child.
Those 43 felonies. Are there other children involved?
I think it's just him, but probably the
each
possession
piece
of child
porn is a different charge. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, and it was. I'm making an assumption here. It could very well have been images of the girl he was abusing.
Mm-hmm.
But so she issued a no contact order forbidding him from having contact with the Spencer's daughter or her immediate family. All right, this was in September 4th. He was arrested. Okay. On the night of October 8th, a month later, the Spencers were awakened by their dog barking, discovered their daughter missing. Immediately, all the lights in the house were on. We were calling for her inside the house and then outside and calling 911. The husband left to go look for her. The father found this guy's truck 10 miles away from the home. He followed the truck, honking and flashing his lights in an effort to get Fosler to pull over. He eventually rammed the truck off of the road. The father confronted this guy and said the guy charged at him with an object in his hand. The father fired his pistol, striking the kidnapper multiple times. Fosler died at the scene. Judge Elmore.
The girl was in the truck?
What's that?
Was the girl in the truck?
The girl was in the truck. Judge Elmore, who's the same one that let this guy go on a $5,000 bond, issued a gag order forbidding the family and public officials from publicly discussing the case. So she's covering her ass.
Yep.
But the Arkansas Supreme Court intervened in a unanimous ruling. The court vacated the gag order and rebuked the judge, saying the gag order constituted a plain, manifest, clear, and gross abuse of discretion.
Mm-hmm.
The same judge, the Heather, who I think was one of the parents, pointed out that the same judge who released this monster out into the community has continued his reign of terror on our child, place us and seemingly the whole world under an unconstitutional gag order.
What's the name of the judge again?
Judge Elmore. What was her first name? Barbara Elmore.
Yeah, great.
So, but this guy here, his trial's set to begin January of next year. But he's not just telling his story, he's also decided to run for sheriff.
I saw there was somebody running for sheriff and I was wondering if this was the same.
Yep, that's him. He said, I've seen firsthand the failures in law enforcement and in our circuit court, and I refuse to stand by while others face these same failures. But yeah, his daughter was in the truck. The guy refused to pull over. He saw that, because another story I saw when this first came out, he saw his daughter in the truck. He's flashing, honking the horn. Either he was on the phone to the police or his wife was trying to get them there. And
what's amazing is that they're still moving forward with charging this guy. That's insane.
Yeah.
And this is insane.
So, yeah, the legal justice system completely failed in protecting his daughter. So they're going to send him to prison for doing what they failed to do.
Yeah. Is there a give send go for that guy?
They do. They do have a give send go.
And put it down below.
Hold on, they're verifying I'm human. This may take a minute.
Yeah.
I am. Sweet. I am a human. All right. I'll post that one up in the chat as well.
Oh.
Well, they've raised 85,000 so far. So good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Good for them.
What a mess. What an absolute mess.
So they're going after a guy who confronted the rapist and kidnapper of his daughter,
Yeah.
who was actively kidnapping her, had her in the truck,
Yeah.
kidnapping her.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to prosecute you because it covers up our.
This is just highlights what is so wrong. You know, the last two stories with our judicial system, and you can add to that Pritzker stating how he's going to use the judicial system to seek revenge on political enemies for doing their job. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a mess. What a freaking mess. We got to fix this. The reason why we're not actively fixing the judicial system as we speak is because we have lame ass Republicans in the Senate who are rhinos through and through, who are not really for Trump or anything else, right? They're for themselves, like Stu stated before, because we have the majority. We could start going after some of these judges and removing them on the federal side as we speak, you know, but we're not, because we don't have a willing participant in America First inside the Senate, even though we have a majority.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And it's to our detriment, in a sense, that Republicans and conservatives as a whole are so independent and free thinking,
mm-hmm.
because the Democrats are like lemmings. They do what they're told, they say what they're told to say, they believe what they're told to believe, and they follow the party line
They snap
with
in
zero
line.
exceptions.
Yeah.
And Republicans just don't do that. And when we have, the makeup of the House and the Senate that is as close as it is actually to our detriment sometime. But I honestly would not have it another way. It's just
Yeah.
that's the way we are. We're independent. We think our own thoughts. We believe what we believe, and if you believe something different, okay, that's fine. You do you, I do me, and we go our own way.
Stu,
But the
some of
Democrats can't have that. They're like, for those of you that are nerds like me, it's the Star Trek and the Borg. You'll be assimilated. You'll believe what you're told to believe. You'll be part of the machine, whether you like it or not.
yeah. So we're having little glitches here. I think it's time telling us it's time to go. Do we have any messages we need to read?
Let's see. No, Freedom, just from the story, he was like, for the this guy Aaron, he said good for him. And I did leave out that part. He is an Army veteran. So
Way to leave that out on a military
yeah,
base
I know.
journal. Stu.
I had read it when I was reading the story, but I didn't have it highlighted or skipped it in my reading.
Yeah.
But
You were derelict in your responsibilities.
well, that is par for the course. We've established that. And
Yeah.
any expectation otherwise is on you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We apologize for last week. We love the participation. We love that you guys are here every Tuesday night. And thank you for being a patriot first and foremost. Get out there, spread the word. This is an information war. We're winning. Okay, we need to keep that in mind. We are winning. They are panicked. So keep it up. Thank you. We'll see you next Thursday or next Tuesday. Thursday. What am I saying?
All right. See everyone next Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. If you catch us on the replay, we appreciate the views. Join us live, engage in the conversation, and we'll see everyone Tuesday.
Live in freedom every day.